the Tax Man. I'm here with Deborah Schreiner, Jim Leahy on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where Attorney Stephen Leahy will give us his infinite wisdom on all things tax-related, IRS-related.
That's true. Today, I had an opinion.
Is it infinite?
Everything's infinite. In my mind, everything's infinite because it's infinitely complex.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's not really infinite.
Well,
but anyway, I was meeting with a client this week. Now, many of my clients, as you probably know, run their own business.
Really?
And many are, and I say this a lot on the show, that they're very good at what they do. So if they're doctors, they're salesmen, they're lawyers, they're, I go on any kind of business that you can think of. They're very good at what they do. What they're not good at is the paperwork. Okay, and what my epiphany this week was, and so the question is, what's really behind the tax problem? What is it that's behind it? And what came to me this week as I was talking to my clients is that the real culprit that creates these tax problems for these people in business for themselves is, and here's the answer, bookkeeping. It's really about bookkeeping. Because what happens is the people are very good at what they do, and they want to, and they're doing their work all year. And as the tax time comes, they have to look at their books and keep records, and they're not very good at keeping records. And so now there's a huge job in front of them to go get all those records and put them in order and start looking at them and try to organize everything and write it all down. And because when you go to a tax preparer, right, you can't just bring a bucket of or a box of records and put them down and say, okay, thank you, I'm going to go, because they can't make heads or tails of that. Only you can. You know what you made, what was an expense, what wasn't an expense. That's something you need to do. So sometimes when people hire me to do their tax returns, they'll come in with this box, and I'll have to tell them, I'm sorry, that doesn't include going through all of these papers. That takes a long time. It's a huge job, and they know it's a huge job. That's why they haven't done it. Okay, and so then it's time to file your tax return, and you say, I got all this work to do. I'll just file an extension. Okay, so then they file an extension. Now you have more time. Now you go back to your work and you kind of put it on the back burner because you don't want to do the bookkeeping.
No.
Okay? So because you don't want to do the bookkeeping, you put it on the back burner. Now I got till October 15th. Okay, so now I'll do it over the summer when I get some time. I'm really busy now. So over the summer, I'll have more time and I'll put this all together and we'll get it done. And then the summer comes and they're busy and they still don't do it, and then October's coming and it's not as advertised. So April 15th, everybody knows April 15th is tax day. And so it rings a bell in their head. Oh, I got to get this done. But not as many people are aware when October 15th comes that's the extension date.
That really does get
because they don't know, it kind of goes by them, and because they don't want to do it anyway. So now the next year comes, and they're alerted again that April 15th is coming. And what happens? Oh, man, I got to do last year's tax stuff, and I got to do this year's tax stuff. And man, I better ask for another extension. So they ask for another extension. And again, things go by, it goes by. And this way, 1 year turns into 2 years, turns into 3 years, turns into 5 years. Okay, this happens to people. And if you're sitting out there, if it's happened to you, if it's happened to you.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting there listening on this Sunday afternoon, you know what you're doing. What? Come on, if this is your situation, let's get help now. Open Tax Resolution 312-664-6649.
So again, the real culprit is bookkeeping. So I am trying to address that real culprit. Because as I just mentioned, when people bring me a box, I can't help them because we don't have bookkeepers that take it.
Is there a challenge that we can put out to the folks to try to do their better bookkeeping?
There is, and what you got to do is you got to do it. You've got to do it all the time, right? You can't wait till the end of the year and then start trying to think you're going to catch up, because it's like paying your taxes. Why, if you don't pay quarterly, it's going to come due, and then you're not going to have the money, and then you're not going to pay it. Okay, same thing with bookkeeping. It's going to come due. You haven't done any of it. You're not going to be able to do it.
We've talked about that on the show too.
Yeah, we have.
If you don't make anything, you don't have to pay anything, right?
Well, not businesses. But if I have a business, then I do have to pay. I still have to file a tax return, whether I made any money or not. In a corporate return, you still have to file it, and if you don't, there's going to be a penalty. So anyway, this is important. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm going to come up with a solution. If you're listening and you're a bookkeeper and you're looking for some work for bookkeeping, call me, 312-664-6649. I have a ton of people who need bookkeeping, and I'm looking for a bookkeeper. And so if you do that, call me. And I need your help.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this segment. Remember, if you have any questions, there's multiple ways of getting it answered. And you could even be featured on this show. You can go on Facebook at Open Tax Resolution, Attorney Stephen Leahy, write a question and send a message there. You can go on YouTube, because we do a live feed every Friday for this Sunday show. You can watch that. Or you can go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub up by the IRS. Or you can call Open Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649. Ask a question and get it answered today. That is the biggest thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen to our sponsors. Come right back here on AM 560. The Answer.